The woman noticed something strange as soon as she boarded the plane. Long-haul flights to New York are usually fully booked, but this time, there were only her and her daughter on board. What was even more unusual was that her daughter had been completely silent since boarding. Just as the woman began to sense that something bad might be about to happen, other passengers started boarding the plane one by one. Hearing the familiar noise around her, the woman was about to relax her worried mind. At that moment, she suddenly saw a coffin being loaded into the cargo hold of the plane, and an uneasy feeling swept over her. This was a long flight from Berlin to New York. Given the lengthy flight time, many passengers quickly fell asleep shortly after takeoff. At this point, Judy noticed there were 2 rows of empty seats behind her, so she and her daughter laid down. And this was where the strange events began. When the plane was halfway to New York, Judy suddenly woke up, only to find that her daughter was missing. At first, she didn't realize the seriousness of the situation and thought her daughter might have gone off to play somewhere. But when she saw that no one was sitting in their original seats, Judy started to panic. She quickly asked people nearby if they had seen her daughter, but their expressions were strange. After no one had any answers, Judy immediately began searching the cabin. She checked every corner but still couldn't find any trace of her daughter. Now completely frantic, Judy rushed to find a flight attendant to help search for a 6-year-old blonde girl. But when the flight attendant heard the situation, her expression was also odd. The flight attendant explained that she hadn't seen Judy board the plane with a daughter. However, to comfort Judy, one of the flight attendants made an announcement asking passengers to keep an eye out for a 6-year-old blonde girl. But time passed, and Judy still received no updates about her daughter. Even passengers sitting in front of her said they hadn't seen her bring a daughter onto the plane. Judy's mind started to reel. She quickly returned to their original seats and checked. To her relief, her daughter's toy bear was still there. This confirmed that her memory was intact. The only possibility was that her daughter was still on the plane. Judy insisted that the crew conduct a thorough search of the plane immediately.
Closets on this plane, right? There's 4 up, and there's 5 down, and nobody's checked any of them.
The flight attendant was instantly alarmed when she heard how familiar Judy was with the plane. Thankfully, Judy quickly clarified that she was a plane designer, which put the flight attendant at ease, as she no longer thought Judy might be a hijacker. However, to conduct a full search of the plane, approval from the captain was necessary. The flight attendant told Judy to return to her seat while she would report the situation to the captain. Half an hour passed, and Judy still hadn't received any news about her daughter. Then, she noticed 2 flight attendants whispering to each other, and a feeling of dread washed over her. She rushed over to ask them about her daughter, but the flight attendants deliberately stepped aside to take a phone call. Seeing that she couldn't stop Judy's frantic behavior, one of the attendants finally told her the truth. There was no record of her daughter boarding the plane, and her name was not on the passenger list. This left Judy stunned and unsure of what to do next. In a panic, she pulled out their boarding passes to prove that her daughter had indeed boarded the plane with her. But when she searched her pockets, she only found her own boarding pass.